Yeah, we probably want to talk about the current product. So
Yes.
I don't think I've ever seen so much like holy shit like posts on Reddit and like different forums I kind of like hover through, and then other content creators talking about the cost of the cards. So to kind of summarize what is going on for the uninformed, we've gone from 5 commander decks a year down to 4. That happened last year, which you and I really didn't like that because of really like
it removes symmetry that Magic tends to have. Like it's a 5-color game. There's just, I don't know. And I think it also is just like you only do this product once a year. Like,
yeah. So I feel like we've lost like 1/5 of our for sure it's for us product.
Yeah.
Right. Like we've got, I don't think it's happened, but I don't know. I don't think there has been any releases that have had nothing for Commander in it. I don't think that's happened ever or in a while.
Sure.
But I was annoyed that they went down to 4 because
I'm still annoyed.
For me, it was a fun thing to do. Like we'd play all 5 of them against each other. We could have the 5th person playing.
Yeah.
You know,
you don't have to limit your play night to just 4 people.
Yeah. And now there's like serious overlap. Like it feels like it just feels weird to have like, well, I want this commander from this one deck or whatever.
And it's also like a weird design. Oh yeah. I think that is a big thing because we try to not step on each other's toes and have the same commanders.
And we try. And then the other thing is the price increase. So there's been a price increase. They're what, $40 now?
They went from 35 to 40. Yeah.
Now I don't remember. I'll be honest. I don't remember seeing specifically who said it or if it was ever said. But it sounded like at some point, at least the belief is that this year, the decks were going to have more powerful. But we're going to be more powerful. Now whatever that meant, I think me and you think, okay, powerful cards.
Sure.
Either powerful new cards or powerful reprints or both. That's what we thought. Yeah. So the price increase isn't super the problem or super annoying until we see the deck list.
Right.
So I think the one that sticks out as the biggest whatever, and it's probably kind of been leaking into this episode a little bit, is the Jund deck. Like the Jund deck is very unfocused. It's missing a lot of cards that you would expect to see from a Lands Matters.
Yeah, either in terms of
theme
reprints or in terms of like the new cards supplementing that theme.
Yeah.
It is very representative, I think, of the disappointment people
like
have.
What cards are missing from that one? Like what sticks out for you for like why is this card not in here?
Yeah, let's pull up the list, I guess, and make sure we're not like
because I know
speaking
I know
out of turn.
Omnath Locus of Mana is not in there.
Yeah, Omnath isn't in like some of so
that would be an expensive reprint that probably would be he's like $14. That would be nice
let's
to
talk
have.
About one of the things that they've traditionally done in these is they've had numerous reprint legendary creatures. That was particularly true last year. There were a lot of like just random legendary dragons in the deck, right? Like
there was this Scion of the Dragon. There was a bunch of random legends.
There were a lot of legends that were just reprinted and put into these decks.
Yeah.
And I think that serves a couple functions in terms of your audience. Like it puts those cards in the hands of new players, so they have a variety of legends that they can now build decks with. And B, it gives needed reprints. Sometimes they're not needed, but there's reprints nevertheless. We really didn't see that. And so that's the first thing missing when you look at the Jund list. Some cards that would seem very obvious to put in it, like you said, Omnath, Tayana.
Is Omnath the Locus of Rage in there? I don't think he is.
No, Omnath isn't in there. Tayana isn't in there. Azusa, like I know that some of these cards are expensive, but it's not
Titania.
Like
Titania is who you're...
Yeah, Titania, not Tayana. Excuse me. Titania. Yeah, like I said, I know some of these cards are expensive that I'm kind of listing off. But nevertheless, they're not there, and they make a lot of sense to be there. Mina and Den aren't in there. They would make sense to be there. Like cards that I mentioned when we were kind of reviewing that deck. But then also
the only one that like cares about it is the Avenger of Zendikar.
Right, Avenger of Zendikar is a good one. It's a really good one. I don't even know if there were like some of the enchants that help you play more lands and things like that, you know, like exploration or burgeoning.
So there's just cards that you would expect to see that just aren't there, or even one of them. Like I don't need all.
Yeah,
of them.
I don't need all of those. Yeah. I'm just giving you a list of cards that I think from these I would hope to see a couple or one or something like that.
Yeah,
like, but they're just not. Do you have the deck list pulled up? Because
yeah, I got it. So like just talking about it, there's the Charnel Horde Worm, the Avenger of Zendikar, the Soul of Innistrad, the Flame Blast Dragon, the Badoka Gardener, the Centaur Vine Crasher, the Moldgraph Monstrosity, which it's a 3-colored deck, like right, and then Rampaging Balos. Okay,
that's a good one.
There's one land, like there's 2 landfall guys out of the 17 that we've hit. The Scoop Mob, the Rubble Hulk, which I guess cares about lands, the Acidic Slime, the Baloth Wood Crasher, the Woodland Explorer or Borderland Explorer, which is like, I don't know of anyone who uses that card.
Yeah.
I don't know of anyone who uses that card. The Farhaven Elf, okay, cool. Sakura Tribe Elder, all right. Yeah, but Maya Elder, I don't know. He's kind of older, but passable. And then Zendikar Incarnate.
Yeah, like there's some of these that are decent in there. You know, like you said, Avenger of Zendikar, the Centaur Vine Crasher is a good one to have in the deck. Like I have it in my Gitrog deck. Like there's a few of them that are in there that are good, but like I don't know. The other thing too is I get that it's a lands deck, but there's 42 lands in the deck, and there's not a lot of lands in here that I'm like, oh fuck yeah, dude.
That's the other thing. So I don't know. We can go over the deck list on all of them. That would be a huge episode. But pretty much like if you take some time and look at the deck lists, you will find that they're very I think the artifact one's kind of okay, and the enchantment
one's okay,
but they're missing things that people thought would be in there. When they said Enchantress matters, like we'd see more Enchantress deck. I think they have one that's a good Enchantress that needed to get reprinted, right?
Yeah. So they had the Yavimaya Enchantress, which I think that's one of the older ones. You know.
Yeah, and they have Enchantress's Presence.
They did put Bruna in there, and like you said, Enchantress's Presence has an enchant that's in there. So there are, like, if you look at some of these lists, there are some things that you would want to see. Like Herald of the Pantheon is another good one that you would want in your enchants deck.
Mm-hmm.
Ajani's Chosen is another good one. Like it's not as if the decks are dog shit. Sigil of the Empty Throne is an enchantment that you see come up in a lot of reprint. Like it's been reprinted, you know, like they could have picked some other things, I suppose.
Yeah, there's just some strange ones. Even looking at like the Esper one, like the creatures here are like, what? Why? You know, like like a Pilgrim's Eye, I guess, if you can flicker it, but the Jeskai Infiltrator or the Djinn of Wishes.
Yeah.
Like these are...
Yeah, the Djinn of Wishes, I remember seeing that and being like...
Cool. What does that have to do with any of the commanders in this
like
deck?
Nobody... I remember getting that card and just being like, this is going in my junk rare box. Like, I'm not using it.
Yeah. I think the overall feeling I get from just like reading people's opinions is that this in combination with the price hike is just annoying. Like we went up to 40 and we got less power actually.
Yeah.
I think I read somebody had figured it out like card to card what it was. Like at the time of release, like Edgar's deck from last year, I think all in it was worth like, I think somewhere like 76 or something like that.
Yeah.
These are now down to 50. They're worth more than what you're getting. You're paying 40 to get 50 cards worth of product, $50 worth of product. But it's just like last year we paid less to get more.
Yeah,
we're paying more to get less this year.
It's an expectations thing, right? So there are content creators in the Magic community that like they lavish praise on the Commander product, and so I think that's probably an important thing to keep into perspective here.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Professor, he will criticize Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah, he will.
Like he will unabashedly do so, but he talks highly about the Commander decks because of what you described. They're always worth more than the cards themselves are worth more than what's in them. But we have a problem here this year that I think as an audience we're experiencing in that like you just described, we've become accustomed to getting more for our dollar out of it.
Sure.
Like there is an expectation that Wizards of the Coast has set themselves up for with this. And I don't know if they did themselves any favors with telling everybody very specific themes that they were planning on building these decks around. To me, I feel like expectations got really high out of that
because of the themes.
Right.
Like there was a strategy in these decks that was supposed to be there, and there's missing cards that people would be like, you need this for this kind of thing. Like you need Omnath for a Jund lands deck.
Right.
You need, you need like, where's the scroll rack? Like, is that on the reserves list? I don't even know. Like, where's the scroll rack? I don't even think it is.
We've kind of solved themes
for
to
the
a
top
degree,
deck
right?
deck.
Like if you go to EDH Rec, like you can see what people are doing in those themes. Like they're sort of solved to a degree. And so that creates this high expectation for what people want to get out of those things. Whereas last year you're doing tribal. Well, tribal's already kind of like, it's a less powerful, it is a theme,
Yeah, but it was hard to disappoint people with that one.
Yeah, like it's really simple. Like you can control the direction of those tribes, right?
They needed new cards for that one.
Yeah.
Like there needed to be new, better wizards that had better ETBs that they didn't create that time. I mean, there's something wrong every year. For me, I'm really conflicted about this. Like, I think when the deck list finally dropped, like I was losing my mind about it. You heard me. I was just like going berserk about the Jund list. I was just going berserk about it, right? But now that I'm kind of taking a step back, and might just be selfish the way I'm trying to wrap my head around it now, is like I actually don't need the pre-constructed decks. I just need the legends out of them and maybe some of the new tech.
Sure.
I just don't need them. Like and this is me, like some of them are still in their boxes. I took the commanders out, built the deck, and like the chaff that remains, like the shitty tap lands and all the dog shit they load into them and have been doing it for last year and this year and the year before. Like the land bases specifically.
Yeah.
They're just still in the fucking boxes. They were just like worthless to me.
Right.
Worthless to me.
Right.
All I wanted was Marisil and whoever, and I wanted this guy, and I just wanted the legends.
Right.
So why did I even buy the precon? It was for the precon night, I guess.
Sure.
And I think that's what sucks is that like they're not even functional. Well, that wizard deck wasn't functional last year. I
think that's where the problem is like when we did it in 2014 with the monocolor planeswalker decks, those decks were really balanced with each other. Like we had a good game. I remember us having a really long game. I don't know if we did. Multiple.
We had 2, I think.
But Inala last year, because we did it twice last year. I played Inala one of the times.
Yeah.
And it wasn't functional. I couldn't keep up.
And Saskia the year before had a hard time with all the flying.
Yeah.
I don't think she could keep up like with everybody's. Yeah. Like weirdly, Atraxa was just too good.
So, and I think this year, I think the enchants deck out of the box is decent. I think 3 of them are okay. You can do okay with, but that Jund deck is going to be really hard to get anywhere with it. And so do you really even want to play with the precons out of the box? Because somebody's going to have a bad deck if you do that.
Yeah.
And
I'm not planning to buy any of the decks this year, which is fucking terrible. I'm just going to buy the singles.
Yeah.
I guess that's what you wanted, right? You didn't put any fetch lands or shocks in there. I don't know why you're protecting those cards, but I guess that's what you wanted. You wanted me going somewhere else to get the card, and get the deck.
And to me,
I don't understand why they are protecting the advanced land base.
Sure,
it can't touch standard from the commander deck.
Sure,
right,
exactly.
Are they worried about like them just getting bought the fuck up? Then the commander people won't even go near them, or even have the chance to get them. The MSRP will shoot through the roof.
Maybe
because the fetches are just, and the shocks are the currency, the gold standard of this card game. So I don't know. Give us the pain lands then.
Sure.
Give us something. Like these land,
the
land bases are like the battle bond lands. Yeah, like you're not gonna step on your own product there. We're still gonna be going to that product anyway for the draft experience.
Yeah.
And I guess if you're one of those booster people, like you're gonna be getting stuff out of that.
Sure.
Right. The bond lands would be good.
I want to kind of like back up a little bit and maybe, I don't know, I guess give ourselves a chance to take a bird's eye view of what Wizards of the Coast is doing Because I think you're right. I think if you are an established Commander player,
you don't really need them.
You don't need the decks.
Yeah, you don't need them.
Like they're
you just
actually
want the legends.
You want the legends. You want to buy the singles, and we've heard Wizards of the Coast state their intention to add millions of players to this game over the coming years because they've already added millions. What that means functionally for us, if we're really being logical about this product is not for established players. The legends are inside of it.
But is it for new players?
But the pre-con deck is I would assume their primary intent is for new players. And so I think that's the question here. Are these decks for new players?
I don't think these decks fulfill that for new players. And that's the thing is I'm on the edge of trying to bring two new guys into this experience. They both have Magic experience. They just don't have Commander or Magic experience, right? So, which is a different thing. It is.
It is. Yeah.
So what do I show them? Do this Jund thing. Like they're gonna hate this format because of that deck.
But would you give them the Enchantress deck though?
What if they didn't want that? What if one guy said, I want like a big, what if they don't want the Enchantress deck?
Well, what's
the alternative?
I think the Izet one, the Enchantress one are good.
Okay.
I think the Esper one can be okay. I think the Jund one's garbage. I don't know. Do you feel like you wouldn't put those in their hands? What about previous years?
I don't know. Maybe not again. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard because those ones aren't that great from previous years. Last year, I wish with there only being 4 decks now, like we can't have a shitty one.
No.
The year previous, it was, like I was kind of saying, like it was a Saskia was kind of in the few times I played him only pre-con configured. The Saskia one seemed like it just struggled because it couldn't deal with the flying of the other decks.
Yeah.
Like, and the big ass blocker that guy had, the Kai and Tai, the Kairos and Tyrio guy. Like he had really good blocking ability.
Yeah.
The 2/8 kind of nerfed her a little bit. And then the Idris deck was just kind of like yoking off and going, it was it was just a bigger creature. It was a 5/4.
Right.
Like the Saskia one kind of struggled. The year previous to that, it was the partners. The Daxos deck.
Yeah, the Daxos deck
not partners, but the enemy colored ones, right?
Yeah, so it was
that was our Enchantress deck that year.
The experience counters, which Daxos is.
So that one was okay out of the box, but then the Boros one was horrifically bad. It had high CMC creatures.
Had some good cards in it, but it couldn't.
Had some good cards in it, but it just couldn't keep up. There's always like a sync, but there was only 1 out of 5 that were a sync, and I fucking hated that. But once you go to the tribal deck, and this year, there's 4 decks. It's a bare minimum Commander game, because to me 3 player is not tenable as an actual Commander experience. 4 players like the minimum for me, and I can bet on one of them not being a participant. I cannot hold a Commander game with just the precons this year, even with brand new people.
Right.
Even if I'm the one that runs the freaking Jund.
But I guess what my question, maybe I'm asking a different question than what you're answering is.
No, I'm not answering it because I don't know how to answer it.
Like, but would you hand a deck to somebody and say, yeah, like take this and start tweaking it?
It's not a good starting point. It's missing things they would need. It's missing things they would need to get it going.
Okay.
That Jund deck, like.
Well, we keep going to the Jund deck. Like, I know that one sucks.
Okay, the Izzet deck then. Okay. It's lacking KCI.
Yeah, it is.
It's lacking KCI. It doesn't have a Darksteel Forge in it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have even a Voltaic. I don't even think, like, not that these are big cards, but it's missing pieces.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
The Izzet one actually is missing pieces. It's okay looking at it.
Sure.
Yeah, it doesn't have a Worm Coil engine in it.
Sure. Which has been in a Commander product in the past before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It needs a Mycosynth Golem. That would be really good too. Yeah. It's missing cards. They would have to spend a lot of money just to get into it.
Sure.
And that's true for all of them. I don't know, man. I think this year, this year's Commander product is doing 2 things, right? It's making us really look at this product for who it was for to begin with.
Sure.
And then it's really freaking us out about that's actually really what I'm more afraid of. This is what it's going to be like moving forward?
Yeah.
Is this how it's going to be from now on?
Yeah.
these really like watered down decks. Like, I just don't know who they're protecting with increasing the cost. Like, who benefits from these decks being like this?
I don't know, and that's one of the mysteries about Wizards of the Coast, though, right? Is that they've actually had really good pre-con deck products in other formats or other forms.
Like, is it because of Battle Bond? They don't want to step on their own products'
and they've
toes?
just like discontinued them.
Is that it? You know? They want to. Oh, we can't fuck up Battle Bond.
Yeah.
Because that's got all the booster stuff, and that's what we need people to do is buy boosters from us perpetually, right? Can't fuck that up because that has stuff we know commanders want in it.
Yeah.
And it's the same designer on both of those camps.
It's true.
You know, and so what? Is there like some secret budget of like cards they've got that like, okay, we can only do this much in reprints in a year. Otherwise we're gonna step on our own product's toes. It's like who was Battle Bond for? Like everyone's like, yep, that's the commander booster. There it is. That's command. What they call it? Commander
It does have
Masters.
a lot of commander stuff in it. Right?
I agree, and stuff that weirdly needs to be set into these commanders. It has Mycosynth Lattice that needs to be put in the Izzet deck.
Yeah,
it has Crucible Worlds and
Doubling Season.
Or sorry, not Crucible Worlds. It has Doubling Season. That needs to be just in whatever, right?
Right.
And then we look at the M19 stuff and suddenly like we need that this. It's just like it's all part of their like it's like their product spectrum.
Right.
But those are singles.
Well, yeah,
but
and
those are singles.
That's the thing is I don't know like I don't have an expectation, I guess, of Wizards of the Coast to be perfect, right? Like I don't. I know that they have to figure shit out. It's just kind of like let's state the problem here though, that Commander players, the ideal thing for them to do is buy singles. It really is. It just is.
Yeah, we learned that the hard way.
Like it's been a long time coming for us.
I'm just afraid this is what it's going to be like moving forward.
Right.
You know, and then you hear these people going like, well, yeah, we'll just boycott it. We won't boycott it. They'll just discontinue it.
Yeah,
what do you think they did to the dual deck? What do you think they did to like?
Well, that's exactly what I'm saying.
You can't leverage them by not buying their product.
They've discontinued a lot of products.
It's not even the product they really want to support.
Yeah,
they made a lot of money off of it because of the like the high powered cards that they were putting in it every year. There was something that the legacy guy wanted. There was something the commander people wanted.
Yeah, there's nothing to chase really.
But not here. I don't see a true name Nemesis here, and I don't see a Test Protection or a Flusterstorm. I don't see those in this thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're doing to their own product here. That's why it's so puzzling. Who was this for?
Right.
Yeah, there's not a fiery confluence.
Yeah.
Like who is this for, dude? You know?
It's a good question. I'm confident that what their intent is for this product to be for new players. I'm confident that's what they're trying to do.
If that was their goal, they actually failed it. These aren't even like easy strategies.
No.
You know?
They're really
Try to
not.
explain what lands are supposed to do to somebody and then tell them to discard them and like through a planeswalker. Like planeswalkers are already hard to explain to a new player.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, it's pretty much like a dude that you summon that sits next to you and plays the game next to you. That's the best way I've explained it. You're a planeswalker, but so is this and these abilities and whatever and the word loyalty. Like, what the fuck does that even mean to somebody outside of this game?
Right.
You know. So this is the set that we're bringing the new people in. The tribal ones made better sense. Do you like vampires, dude? Do you like dragons?
It's true.
Yeah, that's like easy fantasy tropes to like latch onto.
It's true.
That's what last year was. And then somebody who's not into either and like, I just like cats. All right, got a deck for you. Come here. You know, like there was like fantasy tropes that were there to like bring a new player in. The year before, yeah, okay, that was I think why everyone loves that set before is because it was like for the people that were already entrenched.
Yeah, it's for us. It is.
It was for it's like partners
because partners.
Shit,
like
I can have two in the zone.
Hard to figure out.
4-color. When's the last time they did that? It was the Guild Pact or whatever it was way back in the Ravnica blog. It was the first time that was for the people that already played it.
Yeah, that was.
I don't think planeswalkers are for new players. You know?
No, I don't. I agree. I was playing some Magic a couple weekends ago with some newer, like some kids that are newer to the game. One kid was using a planeswalker and he didn't quite grasp.
I remember when I first saw them, like, what is this thing?
Right.
I mean, what is this thing? What does it do?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, everybody who, if anybody listens to us, they know we have a pretty low opinion of planeswalkers to begin with.
Yeah, and like
And that's okay.
to say the legends in this block, like I'm like, okay, I mean, we probably should stop dogging out too bad, because I can say the legends in this release, they are, even Lord Windgrace, like he's a workhorse of a card. I think somebody described him that way. He's just a workhorse commander.
Yeah, he does things.
Draws you cards. He gets you lands. He maybe can blow up some stuff if you get there. Like he's not bad.
No,
it's just that I don't know, the deck he comes in and his other guys that are, like, hey, you like artifacts? You've got 3 options for that. Mm-hmm. Hey, you like enchantments? You got 3 options for that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then, hey, you like top decking kind of stuff? Well, you got kind of 2.5 options for that.
And then there's some other weird ones mixed in too. But then him,
right? It's like you like lands, which is what the said theme was. Like, yeah, okay, he does actually fit what he is a lands commander.
Right.
The other 2, okay. Right? The Esper commanders, like, yeah, there's some definite possibilities there.
Oh, yeah.
The Izzet commanders, oh my God, there's some possibility there. The enchantment they're not subtle about what they're wanting you to do. Like, here we go with the enchantments. I don't need those things to be different. I haven't been complaining about their design too much.
Yeah, I think that's the thing to me, is I want to be careful that our criticism of the product as a whole doesn't criticize the design of the new stuff.
Yeah.
So I think for the most part, it's good. I could not help myself but to kind of dog on some of the Jund stuff, even as we're trying to go through it. But as a whole, it is good. But the product the new stuff is good. As a whole, the product is puzzling at best, disappointing in the middle, and infuriating at worst. Like it just.
That's a good way to punctuate it. And I'm going to say, I don't recommend anyone buy them. I wouldn't say go. I don't. If you're going to open your wallet for $40, just get the singles that you want. Yeah. And then get the pieces that you need. The rest will just, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
If you already play this game and I want to make that Izzet, I want to take Jehoira because she bores me to death, and get the Izzet one. Don't even buy the Pyrrhicon. You probably already have more of the pieces than this deck even can give you.
Oh yeah,
right. If you want to, take your Karametra out of the Karametra, let's try to make Enchantress work deck and bring her into really or whatever, or dial back the Dank Chantress. I guess like you already have those cards.
Exactly.
If you're looking to do like, I guess maybe the Esper one is kind of on its own there, maybe. But if you already have some kind of something going on with zombies, like there's nothing in this pre-con for you.
No, there really isn't. Like your $40 has a head start by just getting the singles that you need.
Yeah,
if you have spending money on other cards, and maybe you can turn that into a splurge of a different kind. Like go get yourself that fucking Sensei's Divining Top. It's cheaper than it has been because there was a recent reprint,
and it was banned out of the Legacy.
So
yeah, and if you have that ninja deck that's Sig or Vela the Nightclad, like you're probably laughing the hardest because you only need 1 card out of this thing.
Oh yeah,
like it's just. Let me just get my new commander, and just that you really have a new commander waiting for you in this. So yeah, I don't recommend anyone who's already playing this game buying the product. I don't want to see it canceled. So again, it's like if you're one of those people that's like, you know what, I'm going to support it. I don't know about that. I think in the next week or so, we'll probably see somebody come back and, I don't know, in a very airy-fairy way, say things that we learned about this. And what we tried to do in our intentions, and it'll just be confusing.
Yeah.
Because they have to.
Morrow's famous for that.
Well, they're an interesting business because they have to. I wish they just come out and be like, look, guys, we got to make money. Okay. And this is how we do it. And maybe just explain to us, like, this is who we're making money from. And here's what we see. It's just always like, you never really see that. And they're very in tune with their social media and people talking.
Mm-hmm.
Like I honestly believe that this product was born from that. If I saw, is there any good land Jund commanders out there as a post over the course between when Gitrog came out and Omnath Locus of Rage came out till now?
Yeah.
Where they saw these 2 guys that came out within the same year and were like, God, I wish these 2 would just have sex and make us a frog elemental lightning Jund commander that did lands. God, if I could only have that. Like the Izzet artifacts thing, like we were like, yeah, we didn't even know. I think I remember somebody like saying like, where's our Izzet artifacts legend? And I think it was Mara. I was like, I didn't know you guys wanted one.
Yeah.
Okay, well, here's 2, in the same year. Like they are in tune with what's being said. And honestly, I don't know if it's good or bad. This one's kind of like, I don't know, like you're a business.
I honestly think it set up some of the disappointment, like I said, because they gave these very specific themes, and now you're held to a very high standard.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Like if they pull people like me and you into a room and like play a commander deck with these, or commander game with these decks, I'd be like, guys, this Jund one's like.
That one I wonder about, because I've worked with UX designers very closely for the last year and a half.
Okay.
And a very, very important part of design, and we do that. I did this
focus groups
with marketing stuff as well, is you do user testing
and focus groups.
And focus groups, exactly. Like you're checking in to see, how do people use it? How do they feel as they're using it? What do they think when they're done? Like I don't know what mechanism Wizards of the Coast.
Is that expensive? Bring me in and write down what you intended for the card on a piece of lined paper and sleeve it.
Right.
And I'll play it, I'll just play it for you. Like you don't need to finish the product.
Well, yeah, everybody does because we would use wireframes for software testing.
Yeah.
Like, you use wireframe stuff that you've just done in Sketch, and like
I had read that had happened, and the feedback they got was people were coming over it. Like that's what Gavin, whatever the guy was saying about. Yeah, we did testing and people were fucking losing their shit over these commander decks. I'm really proud of them. And it's like, really? Who did you bring in here?
I understand that there are some player personas that are different from us.
True.
Like
true.
That's one thing, is I know that there's some player personas that are definitely different. They're in play groups where they can get away with some incredibly janky shit that would never fucking fly here, which opens up the space to use stuff that's like, we look at it and we're like, this is bad.
Yeah.
This isn't going to get anywhere.
Me and you misevaluate stuff.
We do.
We get into things and be like, yeah, I mean, that wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. We probably misevaluated stuff in here for
we
sure.
Definitely did.
Although I'm feeling pretty confident about my evaluation of Vestrid, but still, like, I feel like I could
going to be in competitive EDH.
Guess how many times I've played this Jund precon? I haven't at all, and I can tell, man, it's not going to be good. I can tell, dude. It's not
because you know good. What principles work for a good deck, right?
Yeah.
Like Lord Windgrace, I like that description. He's a workhorse, but he's not abusable.
Yeah, I don't need him to be, I guess. I don't need my commanders to be abusable.
Well, sure, but that's the thing. There's stuff in that theme that is abusable.
Yeah.
He's not. And that's what makes that hard. It's perception. To kind of use what I'm talking about earlier, like it is perception. There's a perception that, like, if I'm having this expectation that I can have something that I can abuse, and I don't get anything close to that, my perception is going to be that it's bad.
And disappointment. Because your expectations weren't met.
But if I got a bunch of stuff that's good and there's something in there that's bad, well, all right, I got a bunch of good stuff.
Would you recommend anyone buy these?
I would recommend the Enchantress deck if you haven't built an Enchantress deck before.
Okay.
That one I would recommend.
Yeah, because it comes with 2 of them that you need.
Yeah, it comes with some of the stuff you need. And it comes, there's other stuff.
It comes with 3 different Enchantress commanders.
Yeah, it comes with 3 different Enchantress commanders. It comes with several tools that you will put to use in the deck. The list does have some good cards. It doesn't have anything that you're like, holy shit, this is an expensive card. I'm chasing after it to get it. But it has tools that you'll use. That's the only one that I'm like, I think I was looking at the Esper list. I think the Esper list is playable. But when we were kind of going through our review of it, of the new legends from that, there's a lot of different builds that you might be doing with the commanders in the Esper one, which means most of the stuff you need is probably outside of that deck. And so you just want the singles. So I really can only recommend one, personally. I don't think the Jund deck gives you anything.
Yeah. I don't think I can recommend.
The artifacts one, I'll defer to you.
I don't know. I don't think I would. Even if you didn't have the part. Because I want to save you from the chaff that's in it.
Right.
I want to save you from all the stuff that you're not going to keep. There's a mirror works in it, I suppose, but I don't know. Being honest, like that comes in and out of my decks. Like I unless I'm using specifically, what's his face? Like maybe specific to these enchantment or these commanders, I'd be okay with it. I don't think I would. I don't know. If they didn't have an artifact deck, is that the condition? Like if they didn't have an artifacts deck.
Well, yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying is I'm giving a caveat with the Enchantress deck because I'm looking at it and I'm like I wouldn't buy the Enchantress deck because I already have
all the pieces.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'd say it's probably a good starting point.
Okay.
Not the best starting point, but it's a starting point.
Okay.
The Esper one, I don't know. I don't know what I'm starting there.
Well, like I said, I think there's so many different builds that circle around those commanders that you're probably not, unless you just really are bent on doing what that particular deck is already kind of constructed to do.
Mm.
I don't think the deck's going to give you what you need.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of different things to do with it.
I feel like we've done this before. Just totally went in on something that was new or a product based. I think we've kind of said, yeah, there's not a lot here. We've gone in on cards. Like this wasn't good or was good, or I don't know. Like if you really want to do it, this is how I would do it.
Sure.
Kind of stuff like that. I just want people to win or at least have a shot at winning. And I want people to have fun playing.
Right.
And I feel like some of the stuff that I don't know. I feel terrible when people play this game and they're disappointed.
Right.
Like
and that's the thing is we want to save people from that. Like if you, yeah.
Like one of my friends, like he's getting into it. Like he bought a deck. He hasn't played yet, but it's together. And then he actually saw the Gyrus guy and he was just like, his evaluation, he doesn't know what to evaluate it with. Right.
Sure.
And I remember like looking at it and he's like, yeah, that just looks broken as fuck is what he said. Right. And it's like, cause he doesn't really, he's just using my language. Yeah. He's using my language. Like it's broken or whatever. Like he's using that to kind of, show his excitement about this, but he doesn't even know how bad it is.
Right.
And I don't want to tell him, don't do this guy.
Yeah, that's a hard conversation to have with a newer player to be like,
it sucks. But what's worse is that he spends the money, he makes the deck and gets even the expensive pieces to make it like, let's say he's like, yeah, I just got to have that doubling season, man. Just got to have it. How can I not have it? And it's not standing up. And I'm either pulling punches to make his game experience better because I do that.
Yeah.
Especially with new people, I'm trying to like I am a consummate trying to get people into this game.
Yeah.
Like if Wizards is trying to get a million people into this game, it's like, well, I'm definitely a part of that cause. I'm doing that.
What do you think I am one of your missionaries for sure.
For sure. So it's like, don't give me cards that are bad for people that I'm trying to get in this game. I do a pretty good job of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm 100% the reason you're playing it.
Yeah.
My brother, my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like
Andy is the hub of our play group for sure.
Yeah.
It would collapse.
Sorry, but it's just
without
the truth,
Andy.
because I'm willing to try it, but I would not want to hand this thing to him and say, yeah, dude, let's do that Gyrus deck. Yeah. All right. And then he's putting money into it and he sits down to play and I either have to pull punches to make his game experience kind of whatever and delude him, or he just loses because it's just not happening. Even when somebody, it wouldn't even take that much. Like somebody sits down with Alicia right across from him, he's gonna be like, that's objectively better than mine.
Right.
That deck is objectively better
like
than
mine.
Mine.
There's little that's more disappointing as an experienced player to sit down with a deck that's kind of like a new commander. You've crafted it, you're trying something out, and to realize as you're playing it, like, yeah, this isn't working. That's pretty rough as an experienced player. As a new player, that could be devastating.
Yeah, that's it. That's the only time. And then they just let it go. They have no investment. The currency for Magic is the fun playing Magic.
Right.
If they don't get that coinage back, like if they don't get their money's worth in the quantity of fun,
yeah.
Why would they come back and keep playing, and why would they buy more products from you?
Here's what I wonder if we could see this in the future. You know how Wizards has like a deck builder's toolkit, right?
Mm-hmm. They still do that?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I wonder if it would be possible to design like a commander's deck builder toolkit.
Well, they did that, the Commander's Arsenal, and it was so limited.
Sure.
It was so limited.
But to do it well.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, we're giving you several hundred cards.
Is that their plan? Is that
I don't know.
Is that in the product rainbow for 2019? Is that why these
I don't know.
pre-cons are?
But I'm just saying, like, this is kind of weird with the pre-cons, and they feel like it feels like they're degrading, right?
Yeah.
Like 5 decks to 4 decks.
They peaked in 2016
to not getting the kind of like reprints that people like us would want, that would make it appealing to actually get the decks or to recommend them to people. And so it's kind of like, well, I don't know. I guess the logic I'm going with here is that we've kind of settled ourselves into this place of the best thing for me to do is to buy singles. When there's a new product out, sop up singles that I think I need to use or I will use at some point in the future.
Before the prices increase.
And then walk away from that release. Done with it.
Yeah.
And then, so if that's the case, why can't we get like a toolkit that has all the stuff that has reprints in it?
Yeah, Commander's Arsenal too. I'd be okay with that. I'd be all over that. Why would I not be all over that?
If it had lands that I want, if it had
artifacts
and things, and just like each year there's sort of like, like we kind of have like the core stuff that everybody needs. They've got
there are cards that really only Commander uses.
Right.
Like, come on. Like,
right.
Legacy doesn't care about.
Well, we need to get Command Tower. Like we need to.
There's Command Tower. Yeah.
There's things like that like we need to get.
Path of Ancestry now.
Right. And so you have like a core of those types of cards that are in there, and then just like a series of reprints around some kind of
Sylvan Library
yearly theme.
Yeah.
I think that would be really cool. I mean, I'm just kind of theorizing, but clearly what we end up doing with the Commander products anyways is taking singles out of them and going and building anyways. So why not just embrace that?
And you're saying they don't do precons anymore? Are you saying this is additive to the precons, or they replace the precons?
I would be in favor of it being additive.
Yeah, me too. But then at the same, if that's going to happen, then I want to make sure that the precons
they need to be good.
And it's not for me. I don't need them to be playable out of the box. I can make my own stuff. I've done it. I will do it. I do it even when these come out. Yeah, it's fun to have the Commander night, which I'm disappointed I'm not going to do that this year, to do the whole like out of the box night.
Sure.
But it got shot in the face last year. The year before it was the last time we ever did it. And I liked it.
That you liked it.
Last year it was like, it was just a slog to get through that.
Yeah.
Because but yeah, if they brought back Commander's Arsenal, I think the established players would be happy, and it's a product I could show a new player right after they get their pre-con.
Yeah, like let's go do some editing.
Like really, honestly, man, pound for pound, what you need is in this box. You just need it.
Yeah.
Like if they just started treating Commander like it's not going away and they're like, we just need to make it a side game. Like we have 2 different products. We have Magic the Gathering and then Commander, which is it is a subgenre of our real game, but honestly, it's just gotten way bigger than.
Yeah, it's this like made up version of the game, format of the game that's just taken control of it.
Right. It's like the Dota. It's like Dota for Warcraft, Warcraft 3. Like Dota was bigger than Warcraft 3.
Yeah.
I fucking love Warcraft 3, but Dota was bigger.
Sure.
It spawned a whole genre of games because it was just all it was a mod, right? The Source Engine has a bunch of mods, man. Half-Life 2 was a big game, but everything that was born because of its engine and everything that was born because of its mods, like Gary's mod and all that other crazy stuff, you could say they're bigger than Half-Life 2, especially since, we haven't revisited Half-Life for God only knows how long now, like approaching 20 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I think the same thing has happened with Magic. So just quit it. Like quit freaking protect, like quit doing that. Like you've already polluted Commander, and I like them. I mean, some people don't like them, but you've already polluted with Commander with cards like Curtain's Call. Like there's zero reason not to run Curtain's Call.
Yeah.
It's meant for this freaking thing.
Yeah, you're right.
Right? You've already given it stuff like that, like Command Tower, right?
Yeah.
Like some content creators I've heard, they don't like cards like this because, you know, they don't have anything to do with the original game. So like to use your saying, the shaving cream's already out of the bottle, right?
Oh yeah.
So let's just hard focus on Commander. Like just treat it like it's just some other game people play that using our cards.
I think so, because that's the problem is there's so much space to disappoint when there's one product once a year.
Sure.
Right? Like, let's go several years back in our Commander or in our Magic the Gathering experience. Dragon's Maze was a disappointing set.
Sure. I remember that keenly.
We went to the
that was
pre-release.
Our last standard set.
Yeah, it was our last standard set. We went to the pre-release. We were into it, and it was bad. And like, you cracked open boosters, and you didn't get anything.
Maybe a shock.
Yeah, like, but that's the thing. Like, you're hoping for something like that, and that's kind of lame, you know? Like, it was bad, but it's forgivable because the 2 sets preceding it were pretty fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty cool. And then after that, we moved on to Theros,
which was damn
which
cool.
was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
So when you have multiple products coming out in a year for a given format,
you have room to fuck it up.
Yeah, you have room to fuck it up. But if you screw up something that only comes out once a year, or even kind of only
or
just
1/4 of something, yeah, like last year,
yeah, or it's just kind of like,
hey,
moderately,
of the product is not that great.
Yeah,
cool.
like it.
Oh, but here's Kess.
It becomes unforgivable, honestly. Like I will probably build commanders out of this release for sure. I'm going to build commanders out of this release, and it's kind of a bummer to like sort of have a conversation where we're shitting on it.
Yeah, this weird miasma around it.
Because it's like, yeah, there's stuff in here that's good, and like you guys actually did do a good job with a lot of the design. But,
yeah,
but it's enshrouded in just this stench that sort of makes it flop, you know?
Yeah.
And so I'm with you. I think they need to do more Commander product. They need to embrace it and lean in and do it in a Commander way. Hiding Commander stuff in boosters in other releases.
Like, quit hiding it from us. Quit getting in our way.
Right.
Like, you already know it's lucrative. Like, come on.
Right.
You already know, like, people are spending more money on this. Like, you know, and like, come on. Your game is dying once you put Arena out. You've already backed you're giving out tokens at stuff. You know, there's no reason to go to the shop anymore. And I get it. It's not sustainable anymore.
Sure.
Like, I get it. The actual physical card game.
Sure.
Like, if you take the feel goods out of it, of meeting new people and meeting friends and going places and blah, you know, and all my greatest friends, the only reason I know them is because of playing Magic at the shop. I never would have met them. Like,
yeah.
Sorry, Hearthstone. Like they're a business. They're not Tinder. And they're not, and you know, they're not. So once Arena comes down, and it's going to come down, and the minute they start giving stuff that only exists on Arena, and the minute they start pushing promos that only exist on Arena, and you know it's going to happen,
mm-hmm.
and they find that it is a way more sustainable business model there, because they can randomize the shit out of stuff, and they're allowed to do things in that design space that they can't do it physically.
Yeah.
Hey, we can do flip cards whenever you want, guys. We can transform them all the time. We don't have to worry about printing, and you guys can't complain about the card stock that that's hacked and not working and inexcusable.
Yeah.
What's left? You know, it's actually Commander. That's the only thing that's actually left when Standard kicks over, and all these other formats that are becoming prohibitively expensive to play.
Yeah.
It's only Commander left, because it's the only time you can sit down in a room with your friends and play thing socially.
It's true. It is the only like extended social format.
Yeah.
Like, that's why we play Commander. That's what's got us playing Commander, because I remember when we started playing Commander, and then you and I built.
You can't play Commander online.
We built. Oh no.
You can't play Commander with people you can't communicate with, or
it's difficult,
or have no reason to, like, I don't know, bargain or politic or any of that. There's no reason to do that.
Sure. It only yields your competitive EDH type stuff in that context.
Sure.
And then, but I remember you and I built modern decks after we had gotten into Commander, and you and I both sat down and played, and it boiled my blood.
That's how it goes, though.
Because it was just these two ships passing in the night, and I was like, fuck, he just he broadsided me, and I'm fucked. And the games were over. It's like, I don't want to repeat doing the same thing over and over and over again that just happens in 15 minutes. Like, I want to play Commander that has all this weird, odd variables and can play it for hours with multiple people.
And this like little narrative of, somebody's rise and fall from power during the call. Yeah, like, I don't know.
Anyway.
Yeah, Cole for Commander Christmas, man.
Cole for Commander Christmas.